Okay, so this is Excel Module 4. This is a new module that we've added as of the spring 2023 semester. This one is a bit more difficult than what we have done before in the previous 3 Excel modules, so we're going to take this nice and slow. I've already done all of the example material here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to recreate all of this. We'll use it as a reference. However, we're going to, pardon me. However, we are going to refrain from copying and pasting. We are going to try to enter all of this by hand. So let's get started. We'll go back to our recreate. So the first thing we want to do is these cells here, actually all of these cells, we want to select this and we want to go all the way out to column J. Select all these and let's double click here, and that's going to expand all of our cells out to being the right size. This does not need to be a 0. Let's fix that. All right, so up here we have some basic data. We have our price, we have our down payment, principal, interest rate, loan term, monthly payment, total interest, total cost. If you haven't figured it out, we're making a repayment plan for a loan. And that is going to begin with the total price of the thing we wish to purchase. The down payment, of course, is a percentage of what you wish to purchase that you have to have up front. So say you need 20% down payment for a house that is $100,000, you will need $20,000 up front. So first thing we want to do is we want to create names for these cells. So we want to select all of these and we want to go to the Formulas tab. And over here you see Create from Selection. Now that's going to bring this up, and it's smart enough to know what you want to do. So we want the names to correspond to the left column. We'll click OK. Now, whatever data we enter into these cells can be referenced using these names. Thing to note is that anytime you see a space in these, that is replaced by an underscore in the name. So here, down payment would be down underscore payment. So let's enter some basic information. This is our simple input output. So let's say we have let's say we're nice and rich. We have a $500,000 loan here. And we'll use a 25% down payment. That's going to be $125,000. Don't worry about the formatting. We'll take care of that in just a moment. That is going to leave our principal as equals price minus down payment. What in the world is this? It may be not happy. There we go. Let's just use clicks. Recall back to previous lectures. I'm a little rusty. I don't use Excel much outside of this course, so sometimes I'm going to make some silly mistakes. So we have our price, we have our down payment, press enter, $375,000. Let's say our interest rate is 3%, so we'll do 3% sign, press enter. Our loan term, we want this to be, let's say 15 years. And now we have to figure out our monthly payments, total interest, and total cost. Before we do that though, let's properly format these. So we'll go to these cells here and scroll up to the Home tab. All right, so it's that format. And let's make this a little easier on ourselves. We're going to go to Currency, 2 decimal places. We want our negatives to show as actual negatives. Click OK. Now they look like this. We are going to now use our format painter to do a little bit of future proofing here. So loan term, no, we want to do these 3. We want to come back, use the format painter again, and we want all of these, because we're going to be working with all of these to make a nice big data table. You don't see the formatting, but it is there. And now we do our format painter one last time. We go to this. All right, there we go. And make sure we're using the right number of tables or columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. All right, now we won't have to go back on ourselves and do that again. So, to figure out our monthly payment, let's go to our example. And it tells us that we want to use the payment function. We want it to be our interest rate over 12, 12 times our loan term, and our principal as our 3 variables, or our 3 parameters that we need for this equation. So we do equals, you noticed, negative PMT. PMT is our payment function. It's going to use those 3 data points to calculate a monthly payment. So first thing it wants is our rate. So as I said, that is going to be our interest rate over 12. Next, it wants our number per, that is our in per. We'll go back, double check our example. Make sure we understand what that is. Month, that is our, I apologize. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, it loves to be silly. So, that is not at all what we're trying to do here. Go back up, please. Okay. 12 times our loan term. That is number of total payments. So, oh, pardon me, come back here. So, let's redo this. So, this is going to be equals negative PMT. Again, our rate is this over 12. 12 times our loan term, and then we have our, okay, remember not to hand type it because in fact we have 2 sheet tabs, and also let's not chance it on our spelling because not all of us are great at spelling, especially me. So that's going to give us a monthly payment of $2,589.68. The reason why we have it set as a negative is because by default, the way that's going to come out is going to come out to a negative term, but we don't want that. All right, so next we want to look at our total interest. Our total interest is going to be our total cost minus our principal. So we can't calculate that just yet. We need to come here. And our total cost is monthly payments times loan term times 12. It is how much we're paying each month times how many payments we're making. Very, very, very simple. So we do our monthly payment times that times 12. And once we're all said and done, we'll have paid $466,412.61 on a $375,000 loan. So we'll do this very simple. To get our total interest payment, take that, and we subtract our principal. So all in all, we'll have paid $91,142.61 in interest. So that's our basic input and output. Now we have two tables we're going to fill in. On the left here, this table is going to show us how our payments would vary at different interest rates. So we have a 3% interest rate as our base. Let's say we want a 3.1% interest rate and a 3.2%. In fact, we want to go all the way down until we reach a 5.4% interest rate. Why 5.4? Because that's as far as the screen goes. I don't want to go all the way up against the edge here. So, we want to take the information from here and want to move it here, and that's going to help us generate a set of data. Now, let's make sure we're doing it right. Can we just transplant this data over here? Equals monthly payment, equals total interest, equals total cost. Yes, we can. So, we're going to go back. Equals. Remember, type or click, don't type. Equals that. Equals that. All right, good. So, the next thing we want to do, and this is going to be a little bit tricky. What we want to do is we're creating a predictive data table. We need to be pretty precise with how we select our cells. So we want to start up here. We want to go all the way down here, over 1, 2, 3 to select all of this. And this is the part that gave me the most trouble. So we might make a mistake here. So we want to go to the data table, or the data tab, pardon me. We want to go to our what if analysis. Click data table. Now you have a row and column reference. This is what is going to be used as your input. So these are our inputs we're predicting based on this input here, and that's a column reference. We want to click U, and let's hope for the best. Of course it doesn't work. All right, we're going to try this again. Delete all of this. Now let's do it this way. Also, if my voice sounds raspy, it's not because I'm sick, it's because I've been recording a lot of these and doing a lot of talking, so my throat is not in the best of moods right now. So let's try this again. So we want to go to our what if analysis, data table, select column, select this cell, and there we go. This is more like it. Now this is going to show us how things are going to change. So going from a 3% to a 5.4% would take up our monthly payments by about $500, and it would add so many thousands more to just how much we're paying here. So that is how we do this data table. It's a very straightforward little predictive thing. It gets more use out of the what if analysis than just looking at a single cell like what we've done before. So now we're going to come over to this little number over here. And this is where we have to enter some pretty convoluted formulas, but as long as we take our time, pay attention, this isn't bad at all. This is an amortization schedule. What this is going to do is this is going to tell us at the beginning and end of each year what our balance is, how much we've paid on the principal, how much we've paid on the interest. So, or actually, I shouldn't call this paid on principal because it is more so paid on the entire loan. So let's fix that. Paid on loan. Lona. No. All right. So this first beginning balance is obviously going to just be our principal. We're going to have to calculate these three, and then this one down here is just going to be this copied. So let's do these silly formulas. All right, so our ending balance is all of this crap here. So if F11, that is, if our current year is less than or equal to our loan term, we want to use the present value function. We want to feed it B4, which is our interest rate, over 12. 12 times our loan term minus the current year. And we want B6, which is our monthly payment, to be the negative B6 is going to be our payment amount. And if our year is greater than our term length, then this cell should equal 0. So let's try and get that right on our first try. I'm not optimistic because I made so many mistakes doing this the first time. So, equals if this, no, whoops, let me backspace that out. I keep doing it. There we go. Let's just use the arrow keys. If this is less than or equal to this, comma, actually, it's not liking that. I don't like that because we need an absolute cell reference. And I don't know if it's going to maintain it. I've never used this before today. Let's just try it. Well, no, because I'm second guessing myself. I apologize. I'm just going to enter the absolute cell reference because that's what it shows to do in the PowerPoint slides. So if this is less than loan term, which is B5, B5, then we want to use the PV function. Again, that stands for present value. There's also a future value that is mentioned in the PowerPoint slides, but we're not going to be using it in this lecture. So rate equals B4 over 12, B4 over 12. It is going to be, let's put a space here, 12 times B5. Our payment is going to be negative B6. Otherwise, 0. Close our parentheses. And does it work or do we get an error? Didn't work. What did I do wrong? If F11 is less than B5, PV, B4 over 12, 12 times that, negative B6, or 0, else 0. What have I done? Okay, let's double check the formula. F11 less than or equal to B5, PV, B4 over 12, 12 times B5 minus F11. That's where I went wrong. Thankfully, a very simple fix. Minus F11. We want these to be F11 to be a relative cell reference because we're going to be shifting down through that one. So, press enter. Do we have a lower number? Yes. 373,000. Something tells me that should be lower, but let's double check with our example. 354. Yes, should be a little bit lower. I think it's because these are not in parentheses. So let's fix that really quickly. I apologize for all these errors. This is, I mean, it's perfectly normal. I am human, just like the rest of you. I make silly little mistakes. There we go, $354,898.93. So now we can figure out how much we've paid on the loan as a whole and just on the interest. Let's go back to our example. This is a simpler one. This is just G11 minus H11. It is literally how much we owed and how much we owe now. So it equals this minus this. Enter. I apologize if you can hear the background noise outside. I live in a noisy neighborhood. So, last thing we have to do here is paid on interest. And how do we calculate this? If G11 is greater than 0, then it is 12 times B6 minus I11. Otherwise, it is 0. Let's quickly refresh our memories of what these are. G11, it is G11, that is our start balance at the beginning of the year. If it's more than 0, then we want to use 12 times our B6, which is our monthly payment, minus our year, well, not our year, pardon me, minus our paid on balance, paid on our balance. And that's it. Otherwise, it's 0. I apologize. I am scatterbrained. So, equals if I want to find G. If this is greater than 0, then we want to do 12 times B6 minus I11, or if G11 is not greater than 0, then we want our result to be 0. And that's how much we've paid. Half of what we paid went into interest. All right, we have 2 more things we need to do. Number 1 is we need to take this value, and we need to put it here. So we just do equals this, enter. Now, we take these 3, fill handle them down once. Now we take all 4 of these, and we fill handle them down to the bottom. And there we go. We have now completed our amortization. So, there are a couple of little things left to do. Nothing huge. We're going to show how to protect our cells. So let's take our amortization schedule. We're going to select all of it. And we're going to right-click and go into Format Cells. We want to go into the Protection. And this is just, going to prevent people from editing it. We want to lock this. But it tells us here, locking cells or hiding formulas has no effect until you protect the worksheet. You go to the Review tab, Protect Group, and select the Protect Sheet button. So, press OK. And we find our Review tab. It is here. Here's our Protect tab. We click Protect Sheet. Now, all of this that we have here is protected. If you wish to unprotect it, well, first we got to click OK. After you select which of these you need, we're just going to leave them by default. All right. And now these are protected. If you want to unprotect them, simple, click unprotect. We also have the ability to hide sheet tabs. If you only have one sheet tab, that's not going to work. It'll throw an error saying, hey, you can't do that. So we can hide this one. Bump. And now all we have is our recreate. And that's all for this lecture. So if you have any questions, I know this was confusing. It confused the mess out of me too. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I will help you as best as I can. Otherwise, best of luck on your assignments. I know this one is considerably more difficult than the previous ones. Like I said, it was hard for me as well. We'll see how Module 5 goes. Hoping for the best. So, y'all take care and good luck on your work.